What's going on, guys? Well, right now, just Guy. How's it going, man? How's everything? Tong Tong, right? I know from the picture, at least. How's it going, everybody? What's up? What's going on, Time Traveler, Super Groot? How's everything going? Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. I appreciate that. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yes, I see you changed your name. What's goody goody, guys? How's everybody doing on this weekend day? Hopefully not too bad. I know the world is in a crazy place right now. I know from a lot of you come from different countries and whatnot, so I don't know the way everybody's handling everything, but crazy times right now. So from England, yeah. I do remember, yes. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, we made it on. You didn't go to sleep yet. So you know what? Let me answer some of those questions right off the bat. What's good, Norman? Good to see you. Oh, I didn't know it was you, Crunch. Okay, now I know. Now I know. Yeah. A lot of rioting going on. It's getting a little crazy out there. Bufo, appreciate you, brother. Bufo on that beat, man. Um, Let me address some of the questions I was asked. And OnlyFans, I don't know, man. I don't know. Should I start an OnlyFans? And if I did, what would I put on there? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So yeah, let me answer some. Let me start with some questions that were asked in the community post. Yeah, there we go. So I'll start off with that. Some people asked me about my finisher. So I use a jumping complete shot, and if you're not familiar, it is what R-Truth does. Shelton Benjamin uses it as well, and it's basically you jump up in the air, you grab the person by the back of their head, and you slam them face first into the mat. I don't think I'll ever be changing that, but I might do different variations of it. There's one where some people mistake it for a DDT, where my opponent I spiked, so it kind of looked like a DDT. That was pretty cool. Do some off the top rope. I've done some with people literally on their knees, and I've done just a quick one on the floor. So yeah, cheap shot. I'm never gonna change that. I like it. I like it. Oh, you dropped the reaction video. Okay, I'll have to check it out after this. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I noticed the Death Valley Driver, No Mercy. That was dope. Make fans only how to have a cheap wrestler lifestyle. So I do talk about that. If you watch the Free Weights of Success, I talk a lot about some cheap tips that you guys can use. Someone asked me just now how tall I am. I'm as tall as Ricochet, only 5'9". I'm not very tall at all. Definitely looked at as a smaller guy. Alex Black, what's going on, man? How's everything? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Did I take wrestling in school? Okay, that's a really good question. So when I first went to high school, long story short, I started. Let me backtrack a little bit. When I was in middle school, I grew up in a very, very, I guess, poorish neighborhood in the inner city of Manhattan. And we didn't have any teams. We didn't have like sports teams or anything like that. So I go into high school, and I had moved upstate at this point to Orange County, New York. And they offered football, they offered wrestling, but I didn't know how to play these games officially. So I started on the wrestling team. I did it for a little while. I ended up not liking it that much. So I stopped doing that. I stopped playing football. It wasn't until I graduated that I started wrestling school. So I started wrestling school at like 18 years old. But yeah, during high school, no, I didn't play too much. You guys asked a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to catch up. Favorite person I've ever worked with? Ooh, that's a good one. Man, I've really enjoyed working with Nunzio. Nunzio is one of the coolest guys ever. Had some really good memories with him. And yeah, I would have to say Nunzio. Let's see. Let me backtrack a little bit. Crunch, I know you asked me about wearing a mask. No, I don't really like to wear a mask. I like to show the face, have full-blown facial expressions. I like to talk smack on the way to the ring, whether I'm a babyface or heel. So I never usually like to cover up my face. Let's see. What else do we got? Do I like AEW? Yeah, I did. Actually, if you go on the community page, I just recently did a podcast with Talk of Champions, and I was on there for over 3 hours talking about Double or Nothing and Dynamite. So check that out if you're a fan of AEW, because I did talk a lot about it, what I like, what I don't like. So check it out. Some people ask me how I'm doing. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I know Drew McIntyre voice impression. I'm not gonna do it until I feel like it's decent. I have been practicing though. But let me tell you, sometimes I'm good at certain voices, but Drew McIntyre, that Scottish accent, I'm having a little trouble with it. All right, let's see. Ooh, all right. Do you hate that wrestling fans call short wrestlers vanilla midget wrestlers? Nah, let people say whatever they want to say. It doesn't bother me. Oh no, I can't with the voice impression, I can't do a preview. It's all or nothing. So we gotta wait a little bit longer for that. But it's coming, it's coming. I don't think it's parrot blood, brother. I don't think so. I think it's just food coloring. I mean, I didn't say that. It's probably poison. It's probably poison. Did you meet WWE wrestlers besides Kurt Angle? Yeah, absolutely. If you watch, I have certain videos. If you go through my channel, where it's basically like cheap wrestler slash Darren Young, cheap wrestler slash Maria Kanellis, cheap wrestler slash whoever. There's a bunch of people that I've had the pleasure of being in the ring with, or at least just having funny stories about being on the same card or in the same building, etc. Like Booker T. I have the Nunzio one coming up soon. So yeah, definitely check those out. You can swim through my channel a little tongue tied apparently. You can swim through my channel a little bit and find some of this cool stuff. Can I show a clip? Oh, of The Dark Knight Rises. I wonder if I still have that. I'll take a look. One of my friends had recorded it, and he had gotten like the exact screen of where it happened. So I'll have to check that out. Where would I rather work right now, AEW or WWE? Overall, I'm going to say WWE because that's the Yankees of baseball. It is like the top tier, top notch of professional wrestling is WWE, and I don't think I can ever decline that opportunity if I was given the choice. Got to go with the E, man. Got to go with the E. Will I ever modify my signature move? Probably not my signature move. I really enjoy my signature moves, but maybe my moveset a little bit. Definitely, I always try to add some new things, do a couple of different moves here and there, meanwhile maintaining the same stuff that people expect of me when I join the ring. So, a little bit of both. You got to switch it up. Bring back the mohawk. I probably will not bring back the mohawk. Did you guys like that? My little half hawk that I had going with the little flip in the front. I feel like it was super obnoxious, especially when I was a heel. I feel like people, as soon as I walked out, people were like, "Oh, look at this guy with the stupid haircut." It was an attention grabber. So that was something I really liked about having it. Let's see. I'm going back for no problem. If I can answer your questions, I definitely will. Can you watch ESWF Wrestling? It's on my friend's channel. YouTube channel or like something on TV? Let me know. Let's see. Would I consider rapping on a promo? I would, but honestly, I'd always try to keep the character of wrestling. I've never incorporated like hip hop into my wrestling character, which I'm cool with. Like, I never really thought about it, like, bringing the two together like an R-Truth or John Cena sort of deal. I've always kept it separate, but I would consider it. Favorite heel thing I've ever done. It's so funny. Somebody asked me that question before, so I'll give you guys a couple of heel stories. That are my favorites. Now, you guys can't judge me for this because I was a bad guy and I was just being a bad guy. So I remember one time I came out for a wrestling show and I was walking through the crowd, and this kid who was a little chubby, we'll put it that way to be politically correct. I don't know if that's politically correct at all, but that's what we'll say. And he was eating a Snickers bar. And I'll never forget this. I start walking by him. He points that Snickers bar at me and he's like, "You suck! Boo! You suck!" So what I did was I snatched the Snickers bar out of his hand and I chucked it across the room. I got real close like this and I said, "Bro, I just did you a huge favor." And he started crying. Kid started crying. His mom was upset. She was pissed. But I'm like, "Listen, I'm a bad guy. If you don't want me to give you attention, then don't boo me. You sit there with your mouth shut and you enjoy the show." Yeah, that was me. Is Jericho and the list in your top? Dude, Jericho's my favorite wrestler of all time. So, yeah, love Jericho, man. I'm cold-blooded. Yeah, I know it was cold-blooded, man. I have other ones, too. I'll give you guys another quick heel story of mine. Whenever we did an over-the-top battle royale on the independent scene, as soon as the bell rang, I would roll under the bottom rope. And people would look at me like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you..." Like, you got to win this match. I'm like, yeah, it's a Royal Rumble. If I slide under the bottom rope and wait till that last person is in the ring, I'll just run in there, flip them over the top rope, and win this whole damn thing. So I would go under the bottom rope and I would sit in the crowd. And I'll never forget sitting next to someone. And these people were sitting there talking to me and like, get in the ring, get in the ring. And they had a thing of nachos on their lap. And I just sat there and I ate the nachos. And I'm just like chilling, watching the match. I'm surprised they didn't hit me or something. But I thought it was awesome because it was such a heel thing to do. The people were so mad because I slid in there with one person left. And it made a good story because that person ended up just throwing me over the top rope anyway. So it was great. It's logical. Exactly. Exactly. What do I like more, wrestling or rap music? Oh, so here's the truth. I like both. Like, it's a weird thing because I'm someone who I love entertaining people. It's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. I love just using my creativity to come up with something, whether it be new music, whether it be acting in something. Actually, let me backtrack for a second. Let's talk about acting because a lot of people go, "Oh, that TLC thing, it was fake because he's an actor." I'm like, well, yeah, I am an actor, but that's kind of irrelevant. Like I do love acting, but that's kind of irrelevant to the TLC Extreme Cheapskates. I'm like, I don't really see your point. I kind of get where you're coming from. Like maybe he's an actor, so maybe he was in that too. But they're separate, man. Like I did the show, but I also like acting, and I also like doing music, and I also like doing wrestling. I just like doing it all, and that's another reason why I feel like Chris Jericho is one of my favorites, man, because he likes to have his hand in different pots. Absolutely. It's a YouTube channel. All right, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Definitely, if you can send me the link and put it in like the community or in a comment or whatever, I'll check it out. What's going on? What's going on? Did TLC give you a script? No, they didn't really give me a script. It was more like, with the TLC show, it was more like, hey, Matt, what are some things you do that are really cheap? Or not even some. Tell us a bunch of things that you do that are really cheap. So I did, and they were like, oh, we would love to capture that. So it was only like constructed in a way where it's like, okay, they need to televise those things. So it's not like, if I do all these things in a week's time, they need to capture it all in a day. So that I would say is the only kind of influence that the show had. So it was more like the way it was constructed was different than my normal life, but those things are things that I do or did. Let's see. Matt Saxon or Matt Rivera. So here's the thing. My full name, because I don't mind sharing, is Matthew Saxon Rivera. That's my full name. And with that said, when I first started wrestling in IWF, there was someone there with the last name Rivera, Antonio Rivera. And right off the bat, it was kind of like, well, I don't want anyone to think we're brothers, so I'm not going to use Rivera. I'll use Saxon. So I was Matt Saxon. And when I was younger and we used to like play wrestler, I would always be number one. Like that was my thing. I'm number one. I'm number one. I think even as a joke, I used to come out to a Nelly song called Number One. And that was always my shtick. So I'm like, all right, how can I incorporate number one with Matt Saxon? The number one attraction, Matt Saxon. Boom. That's where it came from. Now, the cheap wrestler thing, I have to say, it was never my gimmick. A lot of people look at it and they're like, wow, that's a great gimmick. That's a hilarious gimmick. You could do something with that gimmick, which might be true, but it was never my wrestling gimmick. Like, going back into wrestling, I will actually need to learn how to make that my gimmick because it never has been. Being cheap was never my gimmick. It's just who I was. So it's really, I really gotta, I don't know, think about that when I make my return. And actually, let me ask you this question for you guys. Would you guys rather see me return to wrestling as the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera, or the number one attraction, Matt Saxon? That's something I'm curious to what you guys think. No problem, Crunch, man. Thanks for joining, and get some rest, brother. Let's see. Have I ever met a fan face to face? Oh, yeah. Like, I used to get stopped all the time, especially like if I was at a store or just in the street. People would stop me in the street, be like, yo, 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 yo. And please stop spamming your channel. What do you mean by that? Please stop spamming your channel. All right. Norman says number one attraction. All right. Sammy B, number one attraction. Bufo says both. I could do maybe like a McFoley thing, man. I can be Cactus Jack and Dude Love. Who knows, all right? What are the biggest things that you changed after that TLC video? All right. quite a few things. Would I ever try for WWE? I would absolutely try for WWE. Once I make this return to wrestling, it's pedal to the metal, you know, like I want to see where it takes me. I'm very open to anything that might come my way, but at the same time I'll be a little more picky about what I do, because when I was younger I did anything and everything. Any little opportunity, any crumb that came my way, I was like, "Ooh, let me grab that." I think I'll be a little more selective on my moves going forward. Let's see. Budget Ricochet. Yeah, I get that a lot. But I actually like to look at it as Ricochet is like an expensive version of me, you know? Uh okay, I see, I see. Stop spamming. All right, most of you guys say you'd rather see me return as the #1 attraction more so than the cheapest wrestler in the world. That's interesting. That's interesting. And you know what? I'll give you on these live streams, one thing I love doing is giving you guys more information than anyone else that would get just casually looking at my channel. So I'll tell you this, in the next Freeway to Success, I've been thinking a lot. I know some people were disappointed in the last Freeway to Success because they wanted to see more wrestling related content. I thought it might be cool to do like a quarantine episode where I talked about free or cool things you can do. Um, you know, while you're quarantined. But it didn't, but it seemed like some people like that, but most people didn't. So I'm going to give you a little more wrestling related content on the next one too. And one thing I decided that I can do that might be really fun is do a little promo practice. It's been a little while since I've cut regular promos, and I think that might be cool, especially if I find someone to cut a promo against. So let's see. You think I should use all my gimmicks? Oreo waffles. Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Some people weren't a fan though. I guess some people tried it on how to lose weight. You lost 5 pounds in a week. Honestly, man, that is awesome to hear. Congratulations. Congratulations, Manny. You know, keep it up. I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes I toggle. It's very important when you're exercising to know your body type. And my body type is that it's like I can lose 10 pounds in a week, eat a cheeseburger, and gain back 5, just like that. So I have to be really strict on myself and if I'm going to get back in shape. Let's see. Would you like to see Brock versus Taker in an MMA match before they retire? No, no, man. I just don't believe that Taker has any chance of winning. So I'm going to have to say no. No. Did you ever get better wrestling gear? So, wrestling gear. We'll talk about that real quick. Some people look at my older videos. They're like, nah, you weren't cheap, man. You had this nice gear. I did have nice gear. If you see me in the nicer gear, it's probably a little older. And what ended up happening is wear and tear on the gear, on the boots, on the tights. And I had decided, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't need this right now. I don't need to spend the extra hundreds of dollars buying new stuff. And yeah, that was a little silly of me. Looking back at it, I believe someone had asked if I've made any changes. Yeah, man. Like I realized, I'm like, Matt, sometimes you got to spend a little extra money. It is what it is. You know, that's life. You got to spend a little extra. And I overall agree with what those guys said. I do wish they looked at it a little more. Like I felt like I was in great shape, for example. You know, some people might be like, "Oh, you could have been a little bigger," but I'm like, "Yeah, but honestly, like, see, I had 6-pack abs. Like, it's not like I didn't put in work. It's not like I was lazy taking care of myself. I just didn't have nice gear. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish that held a little more weight in my tryout. Can I do a house tour? Oh, that might be interesting. Maybe we could do a house tour. Let's see. Did I get laces for my boots? So the thing about that, and it was kind of, they didn't really show it on the TLC show. Laces wouldn't have mattered for the boots. All the holes to the boots were destroyed. Now maybe I could have tied up the boots, but honestly, I should have just got new boots. Like I admit that I should have just got new boots, especially since boots, they're what you plant your feet on. They're so important. I could have rolled my ankle. I could have broken ankle. It could have gave out on me. So having good boots is something that, you know, it's important. It's important. So I can't deny that. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of them, man. Like I definitely have a bunch of tattoos. My good friend is a tattoo artist. Oh yeah, I guess I got a nice empty space there. But I haven't gotten a new tattoo in a very long time. My weight and height, I am 5'9", same height as Ricochet, not very tall. And right now I probably weigh, actually, I'm going to make you wait on the weight because I will talk about my weight on the next episode of the Freeway to Success when we do another check-in. I'll see where I'm at. Let's see. Did YouTube really help you since they're giving you money? So a lot of people are under the perception that since this whole thing started, I've been getting paid off of YouTube. No, no. Just recently, I've what's the word I'm looking for? I've just became, I guess, an official YouTuber. So I've been able to actually make some money off of YouTube, which is great. But it's not much. Like, it's a little bit like here and there, nothing too crazy. Um, but apparently, and I haven't really looked, there's features now with like a super chat, which I'm not really sure what that means, or like super stickers, I think it's called. So if you guys know how those things work, let me know because I've just started pretty much putting in effort into YouTube maybe the last 9 months ever since the Cody Co video. So yeah, so I don't really know. I don't really know how these things work. I'm just kind of learning as I go. Let's see. How tall were you at 14? I'm 5'9" at 14. Well, hopefully you get taller. For me, when I was 14, I pretty much like hit, 5'9" already. That was it. I didn't grow much from 14. Hopefully you still do. Super chat means people can donate to you in the chat. Is there a way I can see that? I don't even know how. I don't know. I won't worry about it. I won't worry about it now. But that's pretty cool though. That sounds great. Super chat means people can donate to you in the chat. Oh, see? Didn't know that, Like I've kind of read about it, but I don't know. I guess I have to explore more. That when you donate, you prioritize those messages. Okay. You see, like, this is all new to me. I used to watch UFC. I haven't watched UFC in many years. I think when I last did, I'm trying to think who was popular. Forrest Griffin was still popular. Randy Couture had just kind of finished up and retired. That was like Brock Lesnar was on top of UFC. That's when I really watched it. Would I rather be an IC champ or a US champ? I'd have to go with Intercontinental champ, man. Like that I was definitely a huge WWE fan from the beginning. WCW I kind of watched a little bit later. So I would rather be an IC champ over a US champ for sure. You're 15 and 6'5". Good for you, brother. That's impressive. That's impressive. Do I watch any I used to watch football, but my team has been really disappointing lately, the Giants. But I don't really watch hockey, I'll be honest. Oh, no problem. I'm trying to answer as much as I can for you guys. Let's see. Do I ever box? No, I've never boxed actually. Like I've boxed with some people who know how to box, but never like taken classes or anything like that. Have I been in a ladder match? No, but I would love to be in a ladder match. I feel like I can make a ladder match really entertaining, man. Like a ladder match would be dope. Have I ever been in a legit street fight? A legit. So you mean non-wrestling, or you mean like still a wrestling match street fight, or do you just mean like somebody started with me on the street? Yes, I was on Extreme Cheapskates. I was. Yes. Favorite country I'd like to visit. I've never been anywhere in Europe, so I would settle for pretty much France, England, Ireland, Scotland. Then I can really work on my Drew McIntyre impression. But I've never been anywhere in Europe, so I would like to visit Europe. Have I ever broke a bone? No. My worst injury I've ever had. Well, let me backtrack. Yes, I've broken a bone, but not wrestling. When I was like 5 years old, I broke my arm on the monkey bars. I jumped off and kind of like landed wrong. Have I ever been in a real fight in the civilian world? Yes. Not in a long time, thankfully, man. To be honest, unless it's wrestling, I don't like putting my hands on people. I feel like I'm a peaceful person. It's just not who I am. I really don't like fighting. Like I have friends who enjoy it and kind of pick fights with people, but that's not my thing. But if I have to, I will. But I think the last time was in my probably like my early 20s, like 21 or even 20. I don't think I've had to like put hands on someone close, definitely close. Actually, let me tell you guys a quick story. I almost had to put my hands on someone 2 weeks ago. I was driving and I see this car come up behind me really quick. The headlights are like the high beams are on, but I still knew it wasn't a cop because it was going so fast. I was like, there's no way. So I swerved almost off the road and this car kept going. And I just felt my face turn red. I'm like, no. This guy's not going to run me off the road and like have no consequences for it. So I start going after him. In my mind, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I feel like if there was a red light, I was going to get out of the car and try to Grand Theft Auto him out of his car. Like, I was just seeing red at that point. But what ended up happening was when I caught up to him, he had gotten into a terrible accident. And we found out the next day he was arrested and he was high off of Xanax. So don't do drugs, guys. Don't do drugs, man. Terrible. Am I a Funko Pop collector? Yes, definitely a Funko Pop collector. If you haven't seen my Funko Pop collection video on my channel, definitely check that out. Let's see. What else do we have here? Have you ever experienced another wrestler going into business for themselves? Oh, man. I've been in the ring with a couple of people that, you know, they kind of try to bully you a little bit. It's rare. It's only happened to me a couple of times. And yeah, you know, it's kind of like they say you have to give someone back the receipt, which is essentially like, let's say somebody pops you with a really stiff punch. You might have to pop them back just to be like, hey, I'm not here for you to take advantage of me, so it's not going to happen. I had that happen with a submission once. Somebody had me in a submission and decided to like really crank my head back. And let's just say when I got out of that submission, I had to return the favor, you know? Because and everywhere you go in life, man, there'll be bullies. You know, bullies exist wherever you go. And I think the best thing you can do is stand up for yourself and just let people know that you're not going to take it. Let's see. Attitude Era or Ruthless Aggression Era? For me personally, I got to go Attitude Era, man. I kind of like that rated R wrestling. That was cool for me. Have I met another YouTuber? No, I've never met any other YouTubers in person. I'm going to go back a little bit because I know I missed a lot of questions. I've never been to Missouri. Nope, never been to Missouri. Let's see. Do I remember the live woo-off between Jay Lethal and Flair? Yeah, that was epic, man. That was definitely epic. I enjoyed that one. Am I ever going to be on TLC again? I have no plans unless they invite me back. You never know. Maybe they'll do like a Extreme Cheapskates. What's it called when they invite people from different episodes and bring them back for like a special or something like that. But unless they reach out to me, I really have no interest in doing another show. So we'll see. Have I been in a steel cage match? No, never been in a cage. But again, I would love doing something like that. If I made it to WWE, they would say I'm taller than Adam Cole. Yeah. Worst advice I've ever received about wrestling? Usually, I'll be honest, the worst advice sometimes I get is probably from the fans. And I hate saying that, but sometimes they're just like, you should do this. And I'm like, well, it doesn't really make any sense for my character. Why would I do that? But from other wrestlers, no, I don't think I've ever gotten advice where I've just been completely turned off from. I usually take everything with a grain of salt, though, you know? Let's see. Worst match I ever had. Oh, man, I've had a lot of bad matches. I'm not going to even lie. I've had a lot of bad matches, but I've had a lot of good matches. You know, it's one of those things I think that you're always going to be your biggest critic. So there's a lot of matches that I'm like, oh, I kind of wish that had been different. So yeah, I've had so many bad ones and so many good ones. Not going to lie to you. Was I a fan of Enzo Amore? I personally loved Enzo. I thought when Enzo was on TV, he was money. He was entertaining on the mic. He reminded me a lot of myself, to be honest, because I'm all about grabbing that microphone and making people feel something. Whether you loved him or you hated him, he was entertaining. Now, people might deny that, but to me, it's undeniable. Best advice I ever got with wrestling, listen. I remember going, meeting someone at a training facility, and this older wrestler was like, listen, you're just starting. The best advice I can give you is to always listen. And he was right, man. You got to listen to everything. Inside the ring, outside the ring, everything is important. Let's see. What I think is the most overrated wrestler? Ugh, I hate answering questions like that. I'm not gonna lie to you because I never want to talk smack about anyone. But for me personally, I'm not entertained by Orange Cassidy, and I'm not really that entertained by Marco's stunts. I know both their gimmicks are a little silly, and sometimes the silly thing, it either really works for me or it really doesn't. And for both of them, it really doesn't work for me. And I get why some people find it appealing, why some people are interested in it. But yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. Matt, what's the best submission? Honestly, I really like the crippler crossface. I really like the Taz mission, which a lot of people don't use anymore. So I was actually thinking about bringing back the Taz mission. So I enjoy both of those, man. What did you think about how SmackDown started on Friday? So, yeah, the whole Jeff Hardy storyline, that was a big topic of conversation because some people felt it was offensive. Some people really liked it. But the way I look at it is, did it offend Jeff Hardy? Obviously not, because he did it. So who am I to be offended by it, you know? Um, it, I felt that it's already over. The storyline's already done. It's like, he was innocent. Let's be honest. Sheamus had something to do with it. So I felt like it should have been something that maybe lasted a little longer, even if it was just till next week. But it is what it is. It was different, so I can't knock that, man. Favorite wrestling podcast done by wrestlers. So I have to admit something. Not a big podcast guy. I've been on podcasts, but I don't listen to many. And I like Corey Graves' new one. I try to catch that every once in a while. I used to listen to Taz's. I've heard Stone Cold's quite a bit. So I would say those three are like the top three for me. Underrated wrestler. Well, just off the top of my head, when I watch AEW, someone that I would love to see them use more is Pac. I always felt Neville had the whole package. Like he looks jacked. He can do high flying stuff, and his King of the Cruiserweights character I just thought was like so dope. I'm like, no, like he had that grimace on his face. He's like, I don't know, I just thought it was really good, man. So I really thought that he deserves a little more. Dr. Tom Pritchard, yeah, I'm sure he absolutely could get my foot in the door. Favorite Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. I don't know if I have a favorite. Like, I don't have one that I'm like, ooh, that's my favorite Money in the Bank match, especially since there's been so many. But I would say my favorite cash-in will probably always be the very first one. Because when the concept of Money in the Bank first started, I didn't realize that people were going to use it in the manner that they do. Which I'm saying is I didn't realize that people would wait until someone was vulnerable and then cash in. I thought it was going to be more like, hey, next week on Raw, I want to cash this in the main event. And I thought it was going to be more like that. So I thought it was really cool when Edge came out after the, I believe, Elimination Chamber match and cashed in on John Cena. I was like, oh, so that's how this is going to be. And it really set the tone for the rest of the Money in the Bank winners. Do I like Randy Orton? Yeah, I like Randy Orton. Definitely like Randy Orton. Do I like MMA? I used to watch more UFC than I do now, but I do enjoy it. Like, whenever I do catch it, I do enjoy it. Let's see. What's my favorite Funko Pop? I think I showed this on the last one, but I don't mind showing it again. This is my new favorite as of now, because that always changes. But I really like The Fiend. I thought this came out so dope, and it looks really cool. So yeah, I would say The Fiend is my new favorite Funko Pop. For sure. My favorite UFC fighter. I thought George St. Pierre was pretty good back in the day. But I don't know if I have a bunch. My favorite RKO out of nowhere. Oh, I still really like the Evan Bourne one. I think the Evan Bourne one was the one that shocked me the most. I thought Randy Orton did a really cool one with Dolph Ziggler. I believe it was from the power bomb position, and then he lifted off and got him with it. I thought that was cool. The Seth Rollins one where he went for the curb stomp and then caught him in midair. Those were all really probably top three right there. Let's see. Let me backtrack a little bit. Please tell me I have a Slash Funko Pop. Bufo, I don't, man. That would be dope, but I don't have one. If not, all right. When Christmas rolls around, I'm gonna hit you up and be like, where's my Slash Funko Pop? Let's see. What else do we have here? Do I have a Batman Beyond Funko Pop? I don't, but that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. What are some of the wrestling moves that hurt the most? Ooh, that's a good one. So it's not that it hurts the most, but my least favorite move to take is a German suplex, man. Every time I take a German suplex, I'm like, is this going to be the day I get, bam, thrown right on my neck? I hope not. I feel like I'm in midair with a German like this. Please land safely. But the German suplex, I hate. Mulalo, am I pronouncing that right? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. We need a Matt Saxon Funko Pop. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Which wrestler's finisher do I like the most? Hmm. You know, I always really enjoyed the Stone Cold Stunner. Not really like Kevin Owens' version, but like Stone Cold's version. There's just something about it that just looks so rough. And when it was taken well, it looked great. Same thing with the pedigree. Always thought the pedigree was dope because I'm like, they're slamming someone's head right into the mat and putting all their body weight on it. How much more devastating of a move can it be, you know? Predictions on Backlash, Time Traveler. Definitely right off the bat, Braun Strowman beating The Miz and Morrison, obviously. I think Drew McIntyre will beat Bobby Lashley, but for the first time, yes, I pronounced it right. Thanks. Cool, sweet. I'm glad. Yeah. Um, Definitely, I think Drew McIntyre will walk away with the title still, but I'm glad. I'm finally happy to see that they're doing something with Bobby Lashley that is good. Because for so long, it's like you pair him with Lana, meh. Paired him with Leo Rush, eh. But MVP, that seems to be the best pairing, and finally Lashley looks like a threat, which he should have looked like a threat a long time ago. Let me backtrack a bit. I don't really watch too much soccer. My friend was getting married last year, and he made me watch the World Cup with him, and I really enjoyed it. So maybe I'll start watching a little more soccer. Do I like Grimm on YouTube? I'm not really too familiar. Who's Grimm? All right. So I think Chris Jericho should have won the Royal Rumble. That's one of the few things that Jericho hasn't done. I think it might be a little too late for him now, but I would have loved that. Yes, I would have loved for Jericho to win the Royal Rumble, especially when it came down to him and Sheamus. Let's see. What else do we have here? Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Do I play Nintendo? No. I don't have. I'm gonna sound like such a loser right now. Is it called? Is it a Switch or a Twitch? I don't even know. Wow. I found. Is it a Switch or a Twitch? Like, I don't even know. I think it's a Switch, right? I don't own one of those. Do I still tape my boots? No, no, no. When I return to the ring, there will be no more tape boots. No more tape boots. Edge or Orton, who do I have? I'm going to probably say they're going to give it to Randy Orton, but I don't think they should. I think they should just have Edge win, end the feud, call it a day. It sucks because their first match didn't really live up to people's hype or their expectations, and not even mine. I thought their match at WrestleMania was so boring, and I thought it really sucked because if it was a regular wrestling match, I think it would have been great. Do I think it'll be the greatest match ever? No, no. But I think it'll be a very good one. Do I think Chris Benoit is innocent? No, unfortunately not, man. I think he's guilty. It sucks, but I think he's guilty. Have you ever thought to do Twitch? No, because I don't have the system, so I can't even do it. Let's see. Has another famous wrestler ever been nasty or rude to me? Yes. Yes, actually. So here's a story, and you know what? I don't even mind putting him on blast because he deserves it. He deserves it. So when I was doing the Dark Knight Rises shoot, another person who also was hired to do the shoot and do a fight scene was ex WWE and former TNA superstar Elijah Burke. And I don't mind putting this on blast, man. So like I went up to him and I introduced myself, and he was so rude. Like I was like, "Hey man, I know you work for WWE, or he might have been with Impact at the time." I was like, "My name is da da da," and he was just like, and just walked away. Like literally looked at me like I was the biggest piece of garbage and just walked away. I was like, wow, that was incredibly rude. And it wasn't one of those things where, oh, I'm a heel or I'm a face. We were all working on something else together. So I was like, no, that was pretty rude. Okay, good to know. So yeah, that's probably the rudest wrestler I've ever met. Let's see. Kurt Angle was rude. You know what? Kurt Angle might have been. Truthfully, I don't blame Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle wasn't rude. He was fine. He could have been more rude. He could have been like, "Oh, you're disrespecting my business. You can't get in my ring like that." And he didn't do anything like that. He really didn't. And TLC filmed so much, but there's a lot of things that they might not have been able to film. Like maybe they decided to film Magnus talking while I was talking to Chris Sabin and Kurt Angle, and everyone was really nice to me after that. Chris Sabin like talked. He was like, "Listen, I thought you did well out there. Hopefully we see you again, you know? Let's see. Thank you, Norman. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Let's see. What else do we have? Would I jump off the Hell in a Cell through an announce table? Hell no. Hell no. You would have to pay me a lot of money to do something like that. And even then, woof. Listen, they're crazy. Those guys are crazy. Crazy. Let's see. Let me backtrack a little bit. See what other questions we have here. Because I feel like I miss a bunch. Oh yeah, Time Traveler, going back to that Edge and Randy Orton match. Yeah, we did during WrestleMania, we did a really cool like live Zoom feed. So we had maybe like 8 to 10 people talking in the same room. And yeah, it was very quiet during that match. We were like, what? Match is still going on? I made you laugh when I made the milkshake. Well, you gotta try it, man. You know, like sometimes you have enough things from home that you could just concoct something real quick. Next next time RKO a rude wrestler, maybe I'll have to. Would I deliver a frog splash from the pod of an elimination chamber? Maybe if that's a little more doable. That's a little more doable. What's the most extreme match I ever had? I think I talked about this during one of the episodes of the Freeway to Success, but I had one match where it was a no DQ match, and there was no plan for blood. However, we were working somewhere with a very low ceiling, and I had a Singapore cane, and I went to go crack the guy in the head with it, but it got stuck on the ceiling. So I'm literally like, and then it finally goes through and cracks him right between the eyes. And as he's laying there, all I see is blood just start trickling down his face, and I'm like, oops, didn't mean to do that, but you know, things happen. Let's see. What else do we got here? Am I still a mama's boy? I love my mama. I love my mom. I love my mom. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see. How did I feel after I took my first bump? Oh, man. So taking a bump is one of the most unnatural things for a person to do. To throw yourself on the ground and have no, I guess, comfort of knowing your feet are still planted, because you just basically have to kick them up. The best thing someone told me is you want to make it so the bottom of your feet are parallel with the ceiling, like you're raising the roof with your feet. So like at first when I was taking a bump, I was kind of doing this, just kind of doing that, but it wasn't as big of a bump. So it's like better to go bam, you know, completely land flat backed with your feet in the air. And at first it sucks, man. It really sucks. But your body gets used to it. It's funny the things that you could do to your body, and it kind of just learned. So after a while, taking a bump didn't feel that bad, you know? It doesn't. Yes, it was Ortiz, yes, with Fighting Spirit Wrestling, FSW in Brooklyn. That was Ortiz there, yeah. So he's doing big things in AEW now. Absolutely. The weakest wrestling moves? I don't know if there's a weak wrestling move per se. You're back from eating. Nice. What did you eat? Did you have something good? Yeah, I don't really have a weakest wrestling moves. I don't know. Favorite WrestleMania of all time? I'm going to say 17 with The Rock and Stone Cold in the main event, man. That match is probably my favorite WrestleMania match of all time. Let's see. What else do we have here? If I get a call from WWE for a tryout, would I go? Of course I would go. Just like that, I wouldn't even think twice about it. I'd be like, all right, time to pack my bags, and here we go. So we have about 15 minutes left of this, open forum. I think this is the way we're going to do it from now on. At first, we had like a specific topic that we talk about, but I like it like this, just kind of open and fluid, just answering your questions as best as I can. So yeah, this is my it's the ideal situation. Yes, thank you, Bufo. Don't forget to smash that like button. And yeah, man, if there's anything else, I don't know all the features on this thing, but do I have a poster of myself? Yeah, actually I do. Hold on. Can you see that up there? So that picture is actually, let me backtrack a little bit. If you guys haven't seen it yet, if you're curious to see kind of like a tour of my studio and the pops I have in it and the things I have on the wall, check out a video on my channel called My Funko Pop Collection, because I go through the whole studio and kind of just explain what everything's about, where it came from, etc., etc., etc. But that picture up there is from my very first match, my debut match in 2008. Yowie, wowie! 2008. That's crazy. Yeah, from 2008, March 29th, 2008, IWF in West Patterson, New Jersey. I'll never forget that day. It was a huge, huge, huge moment for me. How about HBK versus the Undertaker? Oh my gosh, that's definitely, you know what? That's definitely top 3, man. That's a great match. Great match. What did you have to do in the Impact tryouts? So basically, to keep it simple, we basically put together a match and moves on the fly. You know, Chris Sabin would be like, hey, we're going to do this. And I'd be like, all right, here we go. Then we did this. And I can't get too much into it, but that's essentially what we did. He called things in the ring. I did what he said, and that's it. No, me and the Sugar Mama haven't done the custom Funko Pops yet, but maybe one day. You have a good match for me, Princess of Zion. What are you thinking? Bufo, teach you to take a chair shot? Man, I have some bad news. There isn't much teaching to do. Is a hip toss hard to do? I'll give you a little hint about the hip toss. Funny story. The very first time I went to take a hip toss, because I had taken a few bad ones where I watch it back, I'm like, why does that look so horrible? So with the hip toss, it's a front flip. You do a front flip, you land on your back. But the best advice somebody told me was, you don't want to just do a front flip. What you actually want to do is jump up as high as you can and then curve your body in and land. Because if you jump up almost like you want your face to touch the ceiling and then curve in, the bump will look so much better. It'll look like, oh, wow, that's how that's supposed to look. That person got the amount of height that they're supposed to get, and they landed perfectly. But when you just flip, it's like a little flip. So you really have to jump up and then flip. And that's the key to a hip toss, to a good hip toss. Undertaker versus John Cena. It wasn't bad. It was just very short and sweet. It wasn't, definitely can't be a top 5 wrestling match for me. Oh, Norman, no, I can't give away that poster. After Mega Man, what's my favorite video game? Well, I do have a bunch. I'm a huge RPG fan. I'm a big RPG nerd. I used to be big into Final Fantasy. If you ever played any of these games that I'm naming, let me know. Not Final Fantasy. I know a lot of people have played that, but Star Ocean, Thousand Arms, Wild Arms, Mega Man Legends. I know we talked about that, but that specifically is my favorite. Mega Man Legends. I also really like Crash Bandicoot. Let's see. Undertaker versus Triple H. Great match, especially their first one. I forgot. Was it WrestleMania 17, actually? Where he was the American Badass still? I really like that one. Love the Hell in a Cell one, too, though. Does my brother wrestle? No. Not at all. So, I love my brother. Me and my brother get along so well, but we are definitely polar opposites. He likes to say that I'm the heart and he's the brains. He's someone who, if he wanted to be a doctor tomorrow, I believe he could be a doctor tomorrow easily. He is very much, he's not a physical person. Like, I've always been the guy who likes to work out, likes to entertain people. We are polar opposites, but we get along very well. How old am I? Now, somebody asked me on the live stream, and what I said was, I'm never going to give you guys my exact age, at least not yet. Maybe I'll leave it for like a bigger moment down the line. But I can give you my age range. It's between 27 and 32. That's all I'm going to say for now. What does my mom think of wrestling? Has she always supported it? So I'm going to say something. Oh yeah, I'll be 16 in like 2 weeks. When it comes to both my parents, now a lot of people don't know. This is very personal, so I'm not even sure why I'm sharing this. But my parents are divorced, And that's why you don't see, my dad in the video, but my dad is very much involved in my life. Love him very, very much. Um, and they are both very supportive of all my dreams, whether it be music, whether it be wrestling, whether it be acting. They have been the most supportive parents that anyone could really ask for. And to me, that means the world. I've been able to accomplish dreams, wrestle with WWE Hall of Famers, open for hip hop icons such as DMX, and I've lived a life that I think some people just dream about. Like I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for both my parents, and they're the best. Like they really are. Like I hope one day I can give them back as much as they've given me in this life. Do I still live with my mom? No, I do not live with my mom anymore. My mom eventually remarried, and she has, I don't want to say a new family, but like more of an extended family, and I do not live with her anymore. Thank you, Mr. L. Appreciate that. Do I think WWE going PG was good? Oh boy. Overall, yeah. The world is changing. Although I prefer the Attitude Era sort of stuff, I think it was good for their business. They wanted to have more of a global impact. And it's hard to have a global impact when you have kind of a rated R program. When you get older, no, you don't need to give me money. I'll say this. I know when I feel like this first started, a lot of people were like, oh, I'll send you money. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I realized some people were actually sending me money. And I realized I didn't love that. I didn't love that people would just send me money. So here's what I'm going to do. Whenever you guys see me like selling something, whether it be a t-shirt, whether it be a new CD, whether it be like a super sticker or a super chat, whatever that is, if you want to support me in that way, that's awesome. But I don't want to accept things for free. As cheap as I can be, I still want to earn these things. So I'll say it that way. Ever watch King of the Hill? I did watch King of the Hill. I did. Savio Vega. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened with Savio Vega. He kind of, yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure. He was big for a little while. And is Selena Vega related to him? I don't, that's a good question, Buffo. Speaking of Zelina Vega, I've done a show with her, a show for Forgotten Championship Wrestling in Brooklyn. Many years ago. Like we're talking almost 8 years ago, before she was even in Impact Wrestling, which she was in Impact Wrestling, if you guys didn't know that. Ever wrestled in Puerto Rico? No. But that would be cool. The funny thing is, I don't speak a lick of Spanish. Not at all. I don't speak any Spanish. I'm the worst Puerto Rican ever. Have you ever met Jim Cornette? I have not. That would be I'm very curious to see what he would have to say about the cheap wrestler, right? Do I still watch Dragon Ball? So I don't watch Dragon Ball Super, and not on purpose. I just haven't had time. I'm very busy, so I haven't had any time to watch Dragon Ball Super. But it's on my list. Did I ever watch ECW? I did watch ECW. I did. I tried to watch pretty much everything for a little while. There was a while where I was like, I'm gonna watch ECW. I'm gonna watch WCW. I'm gonna watch Impact. Oh, TNA at the time. I'm going to watch WWE, Raw, SmackDown, Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, everything under the sun. AEW now. So I tried to watch a lot of different things so I can kind of get an idea. Has Mick Foley ever spoken to you? No, but you know what's funny? I've seen a little funny story. I've seen him in stand-up before. And my friend he's always had a sore spot for The Undertaker losing to Brock Lesnar. Mick Foley yelled at him one day, and I thought that was hilarious. He was just like, get over it! And to this day, I never let my friend live it down. Do I still have a cheap gym? Yes, a lot of my things broke. So that kind of sucks. So I've learned to use more of my own body to work out with things like push-ups and jumping jacks instead of creating and concocting machines, more using my own body. But I believe it's in the next Freeway to Success. I will be talking about a couple of at-home things that you can do or build in order to help your workout. Let's see. Someone, I believe it was Sammy B, asked me to make some merch. I will absolutely make merch. It's funny, I have a bunch of things. I'm just looking for the best way to, I guess, post it for you guys to be able to get it. That's the only thing I'm kind of figuring out. I know some YouTubers use YouTube in order to sell some stuff, but I think you need maybe like 10,000 subscribers to have that ability, and I don't have that ability yet. But when I do, I will absolutely have a bunch of stuff on there. I have things to sell now. I have t-shirts, I have a whole bunch of stuff. It's just a matter of, I guess, how I will get it to you guys, you know? What's my main goal in wrestling? Now that's a good question. So my main goal always used to be to get to a point where I would be able to obtain or be acknowledged enough to try out for a major promotion. And that did happen. So I think my new goal in wrestling is honestly just to see how far I can take it. I don't have like I don't have a specific goal. I just want whether I end up wrestling 3 matches and then no, I don't really want that to happen. But I don't have like an end goal. And maybe I should, but I'm just looking to see where it could take me. I've never wrestled as the cheap wrestler or anything like that, or really taken advantage of that, I guess, newfound fame, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, I'm looking to see where it'll take me. Thank you, Christian. Thank you for all the support, man. I appreciate it. Saw a documentary and Austin Theory said he eats a lot of fish. Yeah, fish is like that's up there. Fish, if you eat grilled chicken, those are like some of the leanest meats you can have. Turkey meat is very lean, all really good for you. When you start getting into your red meats, that's when they're not as healthy. When you come back to wrestling, what's the first indie show you're going to compete on? So, I think I started talking about this on the last episode of the last episode. No, not last episode. Sorry, my mind's in like 10 different places apparently. But the last time we did a live stream, my goal for the Freeway to Success was to have you guys start following me into these indie promotions and kind of just see what it's like to negotiate to wrestle for them, because I'm at the point now where a lot of negotiations can happen. So I'm looking to see where that leads. We only have about 2 minutes left, so 2 minute warning. Let's see. No, I don't think Jason Jordan was really Kurt Angle's kid. That's great, though. That's great. Let's see. Worst thing to do before a match. All right, so I'm not going to call out any names, but I worked for a couple of promotions where some people thought it was a good idea to drink liquor, take shots before a match. I would refuse to wrestle those people. No, like, you aren't being safe. You're putting yourself in a state of mind, a weakened state of mind, where I need you to protect me just like I'm there to protect you. So to me, that was the worst thing people did, was drink and get a little tipsy before their match. Unprofessional. Let's see. GTS Wrestling. I know, I got to check that out. I definitely, a lot of you guys have suggested that for me. So let me see. Yeah, there you go, Time Traveler. Hey, hit him with the dab, right? All right. Oh, no problem, Christian. Thank you so much for your support. We got less than a minute left, guys. Yeah, if you guys throw me a like, that would be great. Like this thing, drop a comment on it. If you share my links, that's always helpful. All these things can only help the Cheap Wrestler brand. They mean a lot to me. We'll learn a little bit more about super stickers and super chats. So that's something that's an option if you guys want to show your support. But if not, like I said, likes and sharing go a long way. So all of these things, man. And I appreciate all of you for joining me. I appreciate all of you for watching the videos that I post. It's going to be a fun journey. And doing this YouTube thing, I love it. I think it's great. I love just being able to chat with you guys for a whole hour. I don't really like talking to most people for a whole hour, so that's pretty cool. But I'd rather talk to you guys than most, so that says a lot. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the love, for the respect. That's the best advice you can give to someone beginning wrestling right now. Someone asked me this the other day. I forgot her name, but she reached out to me on Instagram. Oh, if you don't follow me on Instagram, at Matt Rivera TLC. So go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I don't use Twitter as much as I should, but I'm hoping to use it more. So make sure you guys follow me on both Instagram and Twitter. But she asked the same thing. She's like, I'm interested in being a wrestler. What can I do now? Especially while a lot of wrestling facilities are closed. I said, get your cardio up. Because the first thing you'll notice is when you start hitting those ropes back and forth, you're going to be so gassed and out of breath. And you want your cardio to be as good as it can be. Because if it's not, you're you're going to hit those ropes a few times and go, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. So cardio, that's number one. Yeah, Time Traveler, I saw you had hopped in there, man. Thanks for checking out that AEW stream. If you guys want to hear me talk about AEW for 3 hours, check out the stream on the community page. I posted the link there. Hey, Captain, glad you can finally make it, man. Flying Arrow, thank you so much. Love the story of the fat kid. I felt so bad saying that. You guys want another heel story? I can give you guys another heel story before we go. So, back when I was a heel, I remember all the wrestlers coming back from their matches and they're like, wow, there's this one lady in the crowd that's heckling us. So I was like, okay, that's cool. She's heckling you guys. So we get out there and I see this lady and she has this big mustache. And at the time I had a huge beard. So I got into the ring and this lady's like, shut up, shut up. She's screaming. She's like, shut up. So I grabbed the mic and I was like, shut up, lady. You got more facial hair than I do. Sit your ass down. She sat down like this for the rest of the show. And when I said that, everybody was like, oh, that lady's got a beard. And she did have a beard. and I don't care, man. When I'm a heel, I'll be a savage. It doesn't matter. I'm like, the bearded lady, sit down. Sit down. I think, let's see, do I have enough? Oh, okay. I got one more for you guys. One more heel Matt Saxon moment. So I was in really good shape when I wrestled. I had a nice, nice abs and everything. And I remember coming out to the ring and, oh man, what did I say? I'm trying to remember exactly what I said. Oh, so this girl was like, oh, Matt, you're so hot. You're so hot, Matt. And I looked at her and I pointed to her like happily, like, yeah, you noticed. So I grabbed the mic and I'll never forget what I said. I was like, hey, lady, guys with abs like this don't go out with girls with faces like that. And she was like, did he just call me ugly? I'm like, yes, I did. Because I'm the #1 attraction. And everybody else is just second rate. So that's my heel stories for today. Love being a heel. We're about to go. We have a minute. Should I just stay on here for a little bit longer? There's a piece of me that's like, I can keep talking for a little bit longer. Maybe another 5 minutes or so. I feel like I should. MJF line, if I wanted to hear your opinions, I would rewatch. Yeah, MJF I feel like is a savage heel too. So I'll stay on here for maybe 5 more minutes. I know I said I was going, but I'm having a great time talking to you guys. Yeah, I do love the heel stuff. Being a heel is my favorite, but let me say this. I really enjoy being a babyface towards the end of my, I don't want to say the end of my wrestling career, but the last time I was wrestling, I was a big babyface because I felt that I could do it better than most. There was a lot of, on the independent scene, there's this theme where people decide, they feel like they can just, what's the word I'm looking for? Where people just feel like they can come out to the ring and be a good guy because the bad guy is obviously a bad guy. So they don't do anything to like get the audience's attention, to make them like them. So I go out, I jump on chairs, I slap fives with fans, and fans are like, yo, like, can you hold up the sign? I'll hold up the sign. I'll take pictures with people. I'll do the whole nine. Like, I bust my ass as a babyface because I want people to genuinely cheer for me. I want them to genuinely like me as a babyface and root for me, not just because the other person's the bad guy, because they actually like the good guy. Let me see what you guys said. More heel stories. I have to think of a couple more heel stories. I have one, but it's really not appropriate, so I don't know if I can share it on here. I'll have to think about it before I share it. Maybe next time. Cody Ko. No. I've actually reached out to Cody Ko, to be honest with you guys. I've never heard back from him, but I reached out to him just to thank him. I know a lot of you guys are kind of like, why thank him? I'm like, listen, he put me on a platform where we can do something like this, where I can do something like this with you guys. So although he might have had his fun making fun of me, I just feel like, it meant a lot to me to be able to have this platform with you guys now. Rob says, I think it's easier to be a heel. My opinion on that, like, I know they say it's easier. That's a common thought, that it's easier to be a heel. I think it's really difficult to be a good heel. Because, for example, Baron Corbin is a heel. Now, some people are like, everyone hates Baron Corbin. He's doing a great job. My opinion is a little different, because you have Baron Corbin. Yeah, a lot of people dislike him, but do they dislike him because he's doing such a good job as a heel? Or they dislike him because they kind of want to change the TV channel? And there's a difference there. There's a difference. You should become a manager like Leo Rush. You know, I really wish that Leo Rush had more of a wrestling career in WWE, because I was a fan of him in the indie scene. Worst place I ever wrestled. Oh man, I got a few. I might have to save that one for next time. So we're getting towards the end here, guys. I would love to talk to you more, but I have a few things to do, including Sammy B. I owe him a verse for a song. So if you guys ever want me to do something like I know cameos are really big, anything like that, just hit me up. Because I talked to him, we figured out something, and now he has a song that he wants me to do a verse on. So I'm going to do a verse for him. But if you guys ever want like a cameo, or want me to record something, or want me to do something, let's talk. Hit me up in the inbox, especially on Instagram, and let's figure something out, because that would be cool with me, Let's see. I'll answer like 2 more before I go. Yes, the Lyricist Lounge. So I'll be sending him that later tonight. Let's see. No problem. My pleasure. My pleasure. Do I ever get scared that someone will steal my promo? No. You know why? Because hands down, I know I can cut a better promo than them. They might be able to, it's almost like music. They might be able to take the words, but they won't have the same inflection that I do. They might have, like a similar concept. But go ahead, take it. Take it. Let's see what you can do with it, because I doubt you can do it better than I can. I will prove you wrong every single time. Best believe me. All right, guys. Thank you again so much. I'm the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera, and it has been a pleasure to talk to you guys. I'm parched. I need some water. And, yeah, man. Thank you. Peace and love. Be safe. The world is a crazy place right now. So, spread peace and love as much as you can. And that's all I got to say. Be the best you that you can be. Peace, everybody. Take care. Much love. I'm out of here.